Hey everyone, and have you ever changed your outfit 3 times before an important meeting or spent minutes choosing the perfect filter for an Instagram photo? If so, you have experienced firsthand what I want to talk about today and the power of the image. Today, I will explore how the way we present ourselves online and in person, obviously, and doesn't just influence how others perceive us, but actually, I don't know, shapes how we see ourselves. I mean, this topic connects directly to our discussions about identity, um, a lot of things from our course units. Okay, first off, let's acknowledge that we live in an age for instant judgments. Research shows that people form impressions within the first 7 seconds of meeting someone. But now with social media, this happens even faster, sometimes in milliseconds as someone scrolls through a profile. Okay, let me give you a personal example. When I start in high school, I noticed how different people treat me uh, based on how I dressed. On days when I wore casual clothes and look tired right now, classmates could barely acknowledge me. When I dress in, I don't know, clean shoes and a confident posture, and the same people would smile at me and start conversation and even invite me to join to their study groups. And this simple change in my appearance completely altered my social interactions and made me realize how powerful first impressions really are. Well, however, this pressure to create a perfect image can be exhausting. We constantly curate ourselves, choosing which moments to share and which to hide, and this connects what we learn about identity formation, that our sense of self is very constructed through how others see us. Okay, on the other hand, something fascinating happens when we present ourselves in certain ways. We actually start to embody those qualities, and psychologists call this the enclothed cognition effect. For instance, when I dress professionally for presentations or for videos, I notice I stand stronger, speak more confidently, and feel more competent. And it's not just about um, following others. The image I protect actually change how I feel about myself. And this phenomenon extends to our online persons too. For example, when we post photos showing ourselves like, I don't know, adventurous, creative, or successful, we are not just performing for others. We're reinforcing these aspects for our identity to yourself, to ourselves. But there are also darker side to it. Sometimes, in the gap between our online image and reality can create maybe anxiety or feelings of I don't know, like you don't feel comfortable to yourself. We might post a happy photo while we are feeling lonely. I don't know how to say that. Alone, or showcase achievements while struggling with self-doubt. This tension between our present self and authentic self is something many young people struggle with today. And now this brings me to my final point, the importance of authentic self-presentation while image matters. The most powerful approach is presenting ourselves honestly while putting our best foot forward. Um, I learned this lesson during a group presentation on my communication class. At first, I tried to protect an image of someone who had everything figured out, speaking confidently about topics I barely understood, and avoiding any mention uncertainly. But when I finally admitted to my group that I was struggling with one session and asked for help, something interesting happened to me. Not only did respect my honesty, but I feel more confident because I was being um, I was being genuine. The presentation went much better when I stopped trying to be the best or perfect. I started being real. Okay, conclusion. Um, the way we present ourselves is something very powerful. It influences others' perceptions and shapes our own self-concept. Okay, so there's my question to you consider. How can you use the power of image to analyze rather than replace for uh, your authentic self? Because nowadays the most compelling image we can project is what we reflect on how who we generally are and who we are becoming. Okay, we're back to the start, and that's my final Select project. Bye.